For some cool memorabilia on Toy Tuesday. Looks like Buick Man is here and ready to go. So, got a couple of interesting things tonight. Not a big, long episode, but I've got some kind of cool stuff that I want to check out. Some stuff from the Lawrence Swap Meet. I actually went around, started making a list of the stuff that we haven't checked out yet the other day. We got a lot of cool Toy Tuesdays coming up. There's Jim. Can fans, I got a lot of cans. I've probably got 3 or 4 Toy Tuesdays just on cans alone that we haven't even looked at yet. We're going to catch a couple of signs tonight. I've got at least 1, if not 2 more episodes of signs we haven't gotten to yet. So a couple of toy episodes lined up. So we've got a lot of great stuff coming up on some Toy Tuesdays. But that being said, tonight what we're going to check out is a couple of cool pieces from the Lawrence, Kansas Swap Meet. We were there right at the beginning of this month. So I've got some cool stuff from there. We've been sharing some of it on the auctions on Sunday nights. Been having some fun with that. And tonight we're going to check out a couple things that I picked up for me. So Kevin L's here and ready to go. So anyhow, we'll go ahead and get started. We're going to start off with kind of something a little bit different. I've never seen one of these before, and I thought it was pretty cool. I kind of thought I needed to own it. It's not a sign. Brian Dispatch. Oh, Brian, I got your message. I have not seen anything from you yet, just so you know. Peter from Down Under. There's Kenny. Austin's here and ready to go. So we're going to start off with something completely different. There's Outcast. Outcast hasn't been around for a while. Glad you stopped by tonight. That a little bit different from your local Packard representative. Randy's here. I was told this was like a dealer rep piece. Probably somebody that would, no problem, sounds good, that, would have been out calling on the dealers for the Packard Motor Car Corporation. And then we're going to catch a couple of signs that I picked up. So I didn't buy a lot of signs in Lawrence this year, but I did get a few. So anyway, let's flip this thing around and let's start checking some of this stuff out. Austin needs tractor Mike. I'm moving tractors around and I'm using the Hillary one so bad. There's Greg. This first piece is a binder for your local Packard dealer representative. This logo is embossed in it. I think it's an old leather. When we look around the edges of this thing, I think it's like an old leather. Look at this old tab on here. It looks like that's probably a replacement piece. It does have a zipper, which is kind of worn, but it does still work. Gray Kitty's in the office. We're out in the shop. Nothing in it. It is empty other than the fact that it had pockets that you could have used to store pamphlets or whatever you were going in to meet with the dealer about. Other than the emblem on the front, it's kind of a basic old binder. Definitely has some age to it. Like I said, I think it is leather, especially when we look at these worn edges and things like that. Bill Disk is here. But I just thought this was a great piece. There was a guy there that had a bunch of Packard parts and had some Packards. Steel Ponies, Jeff Taylor's here. And I picked this up from him and was kind of excited about it. It's nothing fancy or exotic, but when's the last time you had a chance to buy a portfolio from your local Packard representative? So I thought it was cool. Up next, Leo's here. Another beautiful Pegasus piece. Dad's on with us. From Mobile Gas. Porcelain pump plate. The shield with the Pegasus on it. Really in nice shape. This thing almost looked too good, but when we looked at the lines, they look nice and crisp. When we look at the back, it's got age to it. It has old paint from when it was mounted to a gas pump. So this one I was pretty confident was original. So a couple of other guys that I know were actually there looking at it. Brian's here. They were actually standing at the booth looking at it when I was looking at it, and kind of the general consensus between a couple of us was, yeah, it's definitely real. So worked it in with some cans and some other stuff. I kind of had to pay up to get it, but based on condition, I did it anyway. And I think I only had one of these, so I went ahead and picked this one up. I've got one on the wall over by the office, but I figured this one was worth picking up as well. Like I said, this is a pump plate, so it went on the front of a gas pump. So it is, when we go all the way to the peak, it's about 13¼ inches tall and about 12½ wide. So it's a smaller sign for a gas pump, but the condition was just definitely there. There's Frank. So I was kind of excited about adding that one to the collection. Now, one more sign we're going to catch tonight, and this one I want to spend a few minutes on. This is a very, very early sign. I'm going to guess probably teens maybe. Probably, I'm going to guess teens on this sign. It's a little bit rough, but it is a tin sign, the tin painted sign that I'm thinking is around 105, 110 years old. It was actually found on the side of a building. The guy that I got this from said years and years and years ago he found several of them under the building. There's Tweedledee. Appreciate that, Tweedledee. I've seen a few of these before. I've never bought one. When I had the chance to buy this one, he wouldn't budge on price, so I kept adding to the pile and ended up buying a whole bunch of parts with it. So hopefully the parts will sell and I can reduce my investment in what I had to give for this sign. But it is old, they are hard to find, and I didn't want to miss the opportunity to get one since I've missed a few other opportunities. This is a sign from the Forest City Electric Company in Cleveland, Ohio, for the Cleveland Spring Cranker. Start your Ford with a Cleveland Spring Cranker guaranteed for 1 year. So, if you needed a spring-loaded cranker for your Ford, we're pretty much in the teens. Now, this sign definitely has damage. This is actually a tear in the metal. It was bent up over here. We've got some wrinkles and some paint loss. But I thought it was great. So, yep, that Model T era, I'm thinking mid-teens, maybe. You know, I don't know when they came out with an electric starter on a Model T. I know Cadillac got it in the early teens, so I'm thinking late teens, but I'm not sure on that. So this could be maybe even 1908, 1910, 1912. But that 105 to 110, if not 115-year age, is kind of where I'm thinking we're looking at on this Start Your Ford with a Cleveland Spring Cranker sign came from. Now, this sign is not real huge, 19½ by 9¼ So it's almost 20 inches long and a little under 10 inches high. And it is, like I said, it is painted tin. So the fact that even though this is a little bit rough, the fact that it survived in this condition after 110 years, I'm calling it a win. And I wasn't going to pass up the opportunity to get one of these for our collection. Now, one weird thing about this sign is it's double-sided. But it's double-sided for something different. It's double-sided for Easy Rider shock absorbers for Ford cars. Set of 4, $15. Guaranteed by the Forest City Electric Company, Cleveland, Ohio. Now this actually, there again, I don't think these signs were ever used because the guy that I got it from said he found several of them patching a wall on a building, but obviously sold by the proprietor could have put their name in it right there. So this thing here, I was, needless to say, pretty excited about. Like I said, I've had an opportunity to buy these signs before. I've seen a few of them. I haven't done them, haven't jumped on them. So when I saw this one, like I said, he wasn't budging on price and it wasn't cheap. But like we talk about on here all the time, even when we're doing auctions on Sunday night, you know, if you throw an extra 10 or 20 bucks at something, or even an extra 50 bucks, or sometimes even 100 bucks on a sign, I haven't bought one yet that's gone down either. So, so definitely did not want to pass up the opportunity to get a hold of one of those signs and add it to the collection. Like I said, I have seen them before, but like I said, I've seen a couple of them. It's not something you see on a daily basis. It's not like a Texaco pump plate that does come up on a somewhat fairly common basis. So when I had the chance to snag that one, I had to do it. That's right, Buick man. It's something a lot of people won't see. So, and that's another great point, Kenny, is the scroll work around the corners. I mean, you look at that on the corners. You know, you don't need to do that. Need to do that. That's what I thought, Jeff. I've missed a few in the past, even though this one wasn't great on condition. I wasn't going to leave it lay, and I knew, and he point blank told me, he said, I'm not budging on the sign. So I just had to keep throwing parts in the pile until we came to a number where I was buying enough parts with it that hopefully I can, at least lessen my investment in the sign so I'm not quite as deep. So numero uno, out trying to crank his Model T up. So now I'm just hoping I can sell some of the other parts that I got with it for what I had to put into the sign. But regardless, a cool piece. Not something you come across on a regular basis, and definitely a piece that I was excited about adding to the collection because of the age, the content. Condition is still not terrible considering its age, but scrolling on the shock side, and that's another good point. Look right there by where you could fill in the name of the proprietor of the shop. None of that needed to be that way. That was all just strictly ornamental to make it look nice. Neil's here. So anyway, there we have it. A few of the signs that came home with us from the Lawrence, Kansas swap meet. Now, we've got more signs, we've got more toys, we got more cans, we got a lot of great stuff. The charm isn't the fact something's vintage, but the actual condition. Yeah, and there's a little bit of truth to that, Jeff. Like I said, the guy that I got these from, he told me, he said, I found a handful of them nailed to the side of an old building. They were probably, and that happened to a lot of these old signs. They were just tin. It was literally scrap metal. This was literally scrap metal to patch a building with 60, 80 years ago. Today, a highly prized and fairly pricey collectible. But that's what makes this stuff collectible. Nobody ever thought to save this. This was junk. Use it up. We need to patch that wall. Grab that pile of tin. Patch the wall. That's what they did. Didn't matter. But it's cool finding it in today's world, even in this condition where it still survived okay. You can still read it. It's still clear. I'm going to take that as definitely as a win. So, anyhow, that's what I've got for tonight. Been kind of a bonkers day. I know this is going to shock no one, but I bought another huge load of cars today. So, we'll have the final tally for the month of May Sunday night. But I'm pretty sure that it's north of 40 at this point. Now, obviously, I haven't picked them all up, but I've written checks for, I think, over 40 of them this month. That's right, Jeff. The guys that put that thing on there, that use those to patch the wall, if they only knew what they were saving and what that stuff would be worth, yeah, it's kind of crazy. So I did buy some cool stuff today. I bought some kind of average stuff, but I bought 20 today. So we got a big list. So we've got a lot of cool stuff coming up, obviously. Like I said, I'll tally everything up. We'll get through a final count on Sunday night. Still got a few days left in the month. You know, I don't know. Something else may even pop up. But like I said, I'm pretty sure it's north of 40 at this point. So, needless to say, things have been a little crazy. So anyhow, with that, I think we'll get ready to wind things up. I hope you guys caught the Studebaker video last night. That's the pickup that Rico actually brought out and traded in on the bullet nose convertible. So if you missed the Studebaker pickup video from last night, check that out. That thing is super cool and super weird. 54 Studebaker factory V8 automatic pickup. Weird. Chewing tobacco signs, I don't really have any, and I agree with you. I think you're right. I think the old tobacco stuff it's already starting to tick up a little bit, and I think it will continue to go. Definitely, you know, a raising tide raises all ships, and that's definitely happening there. But some of the tobacco stuff, even though I never have smoked or anything, it still had some really great artwork and some things like that to go with it. So I definitely think that's coming up. Buick man liked the Studebaker. Yeah, that's a neat old pickup. Like I said, Rico brought that out to the gathering, traded it in. We loaded up the bullet nose convertible for him to take home and start working on that. There's David W. So we'll get a little more new content up. The window shade holes were for mirrors. Yeah, but they're not clean. They don't look like a clean drilled hole, unless that's what they started as. Maybe that's what they started as and they kind of broke out. That's an idea too. I hadn't thought of that. So we'll get some more videos up this week. Definitely got lots of stuff coming in. A lot of cool things happening. I'm obviously crazy busy. And so we'll get some more videos out, and we will definitely see you guys right back here Sunday night for some Sunday Night Live chat. Getting things nailed down for Meekum Tulsa next week. Hope to see some of you guys there. That's going to be a good time. And with that, I think I'll let you guys get on with your Tuesday evenings. Thanks for stopping by, hanging out with me for a bit and all the rest of the nobodies. I hope you guys have a good week. Stay tuned. We'll get some more videos up, and we definitely hope to see you all right back here next Sunday night, 7 o'clock for some Sunday Night Live chat. Have a great week, everybody. We'll get some more new videos out, and we hope to see you then on Sunday. Thanks for watching, everybody.